Do you like the jingle? It's great, isn't it?
Hello and welcome back to a very festive finishing line. The show that tells you the truth. Speaking of the truth, we're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes. But we're here for the Christmas racing preview. Andrew, the dog is going mad over there. Andrew had a little Christmas snow sled thing jingle there. That was great. I enjoyed that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Andrew, how you doing? You need a haircut? Me and Sean got all shaved up for the show.
Good to go.
You look the same. Like Sean looks different. You just look the same.
Sean said I look better, I think.
Yeah, it's
Christmas,
nice
he's
shine
cheery.
there. You can tell it's Christmas.
The
Yeah.
shine. Yes. Go on, Wally.
Well, Wally, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Dave. I was just saying, I'm well organised this year. There's normally a bit of carnage on Christmas Eve running around doing mad shit. But I said to myself, I'm going to learn. So everything's done in advance. No running around shopping. Everything's done. And even got to look at decorations today, which was fantastic. And 4 days of Leopardstown. What more could I ask for? It's a home game for me. So I'll be out there as much as possible.
It's easy not for you to panic because you've bought the ring in France.
The love of a good woman will do that to you, Wally.
Perhaps.
I'd say there's no perhaps about it. Anyway. Oh, there's the dog. Poppy is here as well. I may have to mute the mic every now and again if she's going mad. Where is Mr. Garlic Bread? Tom is not here. Tom is babysitting, I think.
No, he's at the pub quiz. He's at a family pub quiz thingy.
Is that a pub quiz? Is that a pub quiz? You're right.
He was down with us today.
Jason Kidd's looking well. I actually do look like Jason Kidd. If the boys don't know who Jason Kidd is, he played NBA basketball for the Brooklyn Nets, which I'm wearing right now, but they weren't Brooklyn then, they were something else.
Quick, do you know what you do? Get a pair of glasses quick.
The New Jersey Nets, that's what they were. But look, thank you all for being here. Please like and subscribe. I'll remind you all to do that at the end. Throw in the comments there. We've already touched on a couple. Christmas racing preview. A lot of races to get through. We'll try not spend too long on the kind of obvious ones. But speaking of lies, there was a little bit of news just before we came on. Many people thought William H. Billy Money had a chance in the champion hurdle. It looks like he's out of the champion hurdle. So somewhere over near Cheltenham, Ginger Joe has lost half a testicle with that news, I'd say. He loves them Barry Conlon horses. I don't know if the lads thought he had any chance, but he's gone.
Jeez, that's the whole champion hurdle picture falling apart nearly, isn't it? How many horses have we lost?
It's another one gone. That's one that you didn't know how good he was, and he's gone now as well. So
where's this?
I just flashed up there on the Twitter machine. Barry Conlon reckons he had a back issue and he won't be ready. He'd have to rush him to get him ready for Cheltenham. So it's not likely.
That's a shame. I know I say a lot about Conlon's house, but it is because, as Sean said, fucking champion hurdle's looking dismal.
Yeah, it's poor. But yesterday, speaking of lies.
Oh, yeah, destroyed you up.
The entire season for me, I've said it. I think I said it last week. It might be, people might call me miserable, but the entire National Hunt season so far this year has been dreadful, in my opinion. It's just more and more cheating. The horses just being saved for Cheltenham is ruining the entirety of the rest of the season and the Saturday races. But Nico's ride on the horse at Huntington yesterday was either stonewall useless or cheating. And I said it on Twitter. Not one of the elitist people that are involved will mention it. And not one did mention it.
None of them did.
And then we had the fact the foil debacle, and he's declared today, which closely followed by the My Daddy Paddy debacle. And again, it was all lies. A Twitter account called Divock Origi, good footballer there for Liverpool back in the day, with 2 followers, got he didn't get mentioned by name, but got mentioned by Dan Skelton this morning in his address about My Daddy Paddy. But again, the crux of the problem was Matt Chapman said it live on At the Races. He was the one broke the news. He said it. But he gets away scot-free. Didn't get any blame because no one wants to blame anybody that's in the Jobs for the Boys Club.
Was the fella he's saying to, was that the owner of My Daddy Paddy?
No, the fella he was talking to was Chris Gordon. And he said, Chris, your horse has a better chance now of winning the Formby because My Daddy Paddy is out for the season.
Oh,
that's exactly what he said.
I only seen the first part of Chapman saying that and I went, no thanks. That's enough.
And if you're going to blame anybody, it should have been Chapman. Because he is getting paid, but he's an ITV presenter and he's getting paid. All he had to do was fact check what he was tagged in. Not give out about the person tagging him. Not give out about saying, oh, horses are injured is so bad and all that. Own what you did. Just fucking own it, like.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that for someone like Chapman to say that on live air without checking. Pick up your phone and give Skelton a little ring before you open your goddamn mouth. Is this true what's happening?
Shows you where we are. It's like the video that came out in Cheltenham a couple of years ago of AP and Garrity talking when they couldn't give a rat's ass about the racing, if you remember it. And it got taken down off Twitter and the whole lot because ITV were giving out about it. Just shows that none of them give a bollocks. Like.
So they're asking the cameraman who to fucking put up.
Just that. Give me plenty of that. Remember Jermaine Genius got money and he's... I don't remember him doing that with it.
It's like there's too many yes boys in racing that'll do anything to get ahead in it, and you could list them off, and I'd say majority of people know who they are. None of them have their own opinion. All they want to do is quote trainers. They'll never have a pair of balls to say what they really think because they're terrified that their sources might not talk to them ever again.
And that's pretty much what it is. Like, I'm just gonna fucking say the truth. Everyone probably doesn't like me, but I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not looking for a job at Racing TV and Racing Post, and I'm certainly not going to lick anybody's hole to get it. Sean, this one's for you. I don't know if you can see this, but what do you make of starting 12:58 Limerick on the 26th of December?
Just wins.
While we're kicking on there, you can have a look at that and get back to Bo.
I think I know who it is.
Z.
I think I know who it is.
Just wins.
Okay, look, we're here for the Christmas racing. It's a JP horse, he says. Sean Marlowe.
Yeah, it was behind
wins.
Talk to Talk.
Okay, there you go.
Remember the Joseph horse, yeah.
Now,
Sean's panicking.
I put
it was in my head. I was like, I think that's him.
It was decent bump horse. I was looking.
I don't know what my Chapman didn't do, and I'm fact checked it just to make sure.
Yeah. Well on, Sean.
Man, Sean, we like that. Right, so we have the 26th. We have Kempton, Leopardstown, Aintree. 27th, Kempton, Leopardstown. 28th, Leopardstown, Limerick. And the 29th one at Leopardstown. And I will get on to Kempton on the 26th. And the first race is the Cotto, Ladbrokes Cotto Star Novices Chase, a grade 1, obviously for novices, 3 miles. We've 6 runners. Do you have a tag for this, no?
No, I don't. I was too busy to do it all.
Oh, well, that's
a lot of fucking. There's fine. 2,
no
4, 6, 7, 8, 9,
tags.
10, 12, 24, 16 races. Like, no, you're okay.
No problem. We have 6 runners. Kitzbühel 2-1, Salver 5-2, Wendigo 5-2. Blue King Duro 10s, Thomas Moore 22s, Crest of Fortune 25s. Andrew, who's going to win?
The one who I don't think is going to win is Kitzbühel, or however he wants to
pronounce it.
Kitzbühel. I'm not a fan of him. I didn't really like what I saw at Punchestown. Look, fair enough, he came back and battled well, but it's the whole thing that this fella's a 2-miler and all of a sudden now he's a 3-miler. I don't know what to make from him right now, so I'll pass over him, especially at 2-1. Wendigo was growing on me. I liked what he done the last time, but I think Kempton is going to be too sharp for him. That just leads me on to Salver then. Like his his chase debut was over 2 miles behind Olamba, and look, fair play to him. He ran a decent enough race to finish 10 lengths behind him. But what he did at Sandown over 3 miles, it's what they've been hoping that he was going to turn into, which probably is a decent enough horse. He was kind of off the bridle, on and off throughout, jumping well. But the second Caelan Quinn actually asked him for a proper effort, geez, the response was fairly rapid, and he just galloped and galloped away from his rivals. Now, you could argue again that this course might be a bit on the sharp side, but I think there's a hell of a lot more improvement to come from. I think 5-2 is a fair enough price. I'm not sold on the other two. Kutzball, just in regards to the trip, and Wendigo, I just don't think the track will suit him. I think Salviar has form over shorter trips. I just think he'll handle the track a lot better than the other two. And I think at 5-2, I think he's a fair price, and I think he'll get the win.
I don't think the track will play to any of the horses in this strength, to be honest. They all look like dour stayers to me. I think Salver needs heavy ground. That's why he runs well around Sandown. I think the one that might get away with it is Wendigo, but it wouldn't be a strong selection. And I thought when Kitzbühel ran, he looked more like a 4-miler horse. He looked like a real dour stayer.
I really didn't know what to make. Like he looked like he was going to just fall out the back of the telly at one stage.
I don't know if he had the pace to hold up in this, but yeah, it's not strong for me. But Wendigo, if I had to decide one, Sean.
Yeah, look, I'd be fearful of Kitzbühel as well. I just worry about tactical speed around Kempton. You've touched on it a bit. He got a little bit outpaced. I noticed horses that sort of took him on then fell apart, and then he came back. I'd just be worried about the tactical pace. I do think it comes down to the two between Salva and Wendigo. I slightly went with Wendigo because I think he might handle the track and ground a little bit better than Salva, but I also think he might kick him off the front. And I just think this is where you're going to want to be. In this sort of race, it gets messy. Like Blue King Daru, you couldn't find me a worse Novice Chaser. How he's still over fences is beyond me. You just don't want to be anywhere near him going around here. If someone lines up behind him, they haven't done their homework. But when they go back to his run the last day, I just thought he showed plenty of guts now, to be honest with you. The horse that he came out, I know people are going to say, oh, he didn't run great at Ascot. I think he's a horse who needs good ground, and he got it the last day at Newbury. It was a bit softer there when he ran the weekend at Ascot. I just got beaten. But I think when you look back, I know Regent Stroll, or you ran with the choke out, but Wendigo, like, step up and trip. He's been running over trips that I don't even think has been suiting him. I think he's going to want 3 miles in every single yard of it. I'm hoping Gavin Sheehan will kick him out the front and make plenty of use of him. He jumps very well. And you get into a rhythm out in front in Kempton, you could be a hard horse to come back and peg back.
Yeah, fair enough. Two Scoops says Kitzbühel reminds him of Gaillard de Menil.
Yeah.
Yeah, good comparison. Similar type of horse. Both grey as well.
One or two of them could end up in the same bloody race he won.
Okay, the 155 at Kempton, Labros Christmas Hurdle, Return of Sergino 4-7, Golden Ace 4-1, Celtic Dino 7-1, Roubaud 20s, Tripoli Flyer, very disappointing since his novice days. 40-1.
He's a blader, isn't he?
Yeah, give it to me, OJ 80-1. Sean, is Sergino going to win?
Yeah, look, Dave, you hope he is. You hope something comes back to get into that champion hurdle division, don't you? Like, it's grim picking at the moment. I mean, like, if it's not him and then lost him out, you're gonna have some free shot at it. But yeah, look, it's interesting. We've seen Constitution Hill. He went missing for a year, didn't come back the same horse. I know he didn't have an injury, but he got very sick. Sergino, and it was touch and go, he was saying. So look, I'd say he's doing all the right things at home because they put no pressure on a date or anything like that. And all of a sudden he's come to hand and he's gone into a grade 1 in a Christmas hurdle first time out. So they've spotted the opportunity champion hurdle. All of us can see it. But as I said before, I don't think there's too many horses now in training that could line up in the champion hurdle and champion chase and probably be favourite. And it probably says a lot about this fella's raw ability. I suspect he'd take all the being. But like the rest of them are, like Golden Ace obviously runs a race. Outside of that, it's very poor. Like Celtic Dean on horses like that, I think the high-end handicappers are not grade 1 horses in my opinion. So I'd say the two of them could be well clear. I don't think you'd get it, but maybe if you were getting even money or something like that, a Golden Ace without Sergino, that might be the way you'd look at it.
I actually think some of the bookies will offer specials on Sergino on Christmas Day, them super
Perhaps,
boosts.
maybe, yeah.
Even money, because he's been out for so long.
It's one of them.
Horses have come back. Cornhill came back, but he never looked the same. I know Nicky got Sprinter back, but if you remember, Sprinter had a bad season. The first season he came back before he started winning again. So when Altior got injured and came back, he was never the same. So I know you said it wasn't an injury, but he did nearly die at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard for him. I hope he wins and he looks decent. He kind of has to for the race to be, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Mayor wins again. But Sergino, again, not confident. Andrew?
Yeah, you're taking a lot on trust with Sergino about his well-being from what has happened to him. Especially 4-7. Jesus Christ, you're backing him at 4-7. You want to be like 6 glasses in by 2 o'clock on Stephen's Day.
Very possible, I'd say.
I'll be well there. But that's a different story. I won't be going near any 4-7 Sergino.
I have to drive after the racing, so there's no boozing.
No. like as you said, you'd hope that he comes out and puts in a blistering performance.
Yeah.
But like, I'd leave him go and put in a blistering performance at 4-7. I'd leave him go off and win. I was kind of looking at the same angle as you, Sean. To me, Golden Ace is probably miles the best of the rest of them. If you can get even money, as Sean said.
I was just looking good because she's like 7-2, 4-1, and Celtic Dino 7-1, 6-1. So I'd say it won't be far off evens. I wouldn't say
far off even. I think if you can get that price, that's the way I play it. If you wanted to have a bet in it.
The other side is that track shouldn't suit her either. She's a real staying 2-miler. Like, she wouldn't be blessed with speed. Like,
yeah,
but you think a Rubo goes out?
There's going to be pace. Like the likes of Rubo, as Sean said, and Celtic Dino, they're going to get on with it. So she's going to have something to aim at. Then I'm just playing devil's advocate here now, but then you have the other side of how Sergino is going to react with going that pace at first time up. Like there's a lot of positive and a lot of negatives towards him. So if you like him, sit back, relax, and just leave him win at that. Look, he'll win, and if you fancy for the champion hurdle, he'll probably shorten from whatever he is now 3-1 into even money, on the bookmakers. But look, it's a race that's going to tell a lot towards the champion hurdle.
Yeah, fair enough. Poppy is back. Say hello.
Biden Poppy.
Say hello.
Right in the nose.
Give me the paw.
Right.
Don't embarrass me. Give me the paw.
She's embarrassed.
On the 2:30 Kempton, the King George, Grade 1, 3 miles. Fact the Foil is in here. Joint favourite 11-4. Django Bay 11-4. Gaelic Warrior 3-1. The Jukebox Man 13-2. Banbridge 16s. Jello 16s. Il A Francais 20-1. And Master, what's he even running for? Master Chewy 150-1. That's
such
crazy.
a good point.
It's incredible, that is. He's just going to get in the way of something because he'd be banging fences as well. Like,
he's going to fall and take down one of the top 3.
Yeah, just in the way. Like, Sean, who's going to win?
It's going to be unbelievable, Dave. I come down on the side of Fact the Foil. I just think he's the horse that you know where he is and you know he's going to turn up. Where, as we touched on before, Gaelic Warrior is a Fruit Loop. Like, he could do anything here now. He could bolt up. He could down tilts halfway around. The thing I would say is, I think Fact the Foil is going to be in prime position where I think Gaelic Warrior might be held up a little bit. I don't think they're going to ride him the way they did in the John Duncan going up the 3 miles for the first time. And that might just be the winning and losing of the race, I'd say. Django Bay, I just don't know. I just question what he's done so far. Look, he's won an Arkle, absolutely. The form is working out over 2 miles. But when you look at that race the last day, it was great on paper, but it fell apart. Like, Big Dory ran no race. Hille Francais fell in the hole, and he's beating Gidley Park. And I don't know what Gidley Park is. The Gidley Park ran against Fact the Foil like Gaelic Warrior. They'd be 1-2, 2-5 against him. Like, they'd thump him, like, and I'd expect him to. So I just wonder what that form is. And this is going to be a proper Grade 1 ran out of pace. His jumping can be a little bit, he can miss 1 or 2. And I think it's going to cost you big time in this, where I see Fact the Foil, Kempton, right-handed, fast track, loads of fences. I just think he ticks all the boxes for me. He's going to have a gallop to aim at, whether it's the Jukebox Man goes out in front, LA Francais. I think he's just going to be sitting there. And unlike last season when he was held up at Leopardstown because he was running against Gallop in the Champ, I think now you just sit him up in the van, and this lad just makes a lens, and I can see him just coming into the straight and getting home. What it is for him is he's went up a hill at Cheltenham. He's won over 3 miles. I don't think he doesn't stay. I just wonder if he's not ridden correctly. I don't think he has that turn of foot to go and zoom past something. He comes at a pace and he sort of makes his ground and kicks away. So I'm hoping Mark Walsh is right up on the Gert de Ville Francais, making plenty use of him, and I'm hoping he win it. But no matter what, I think it's going to be a cracking race. You 3 horses, 2 of them at least are going to turn up.
Andrew.
Sean, Marlowe, please let us know who the hell tips up Master Chewy. Really appreciate it.
I'm going to say your man Graham Rodway.
Or one of the lads off bloody at the races. What's his name?
Serious value because you're getting 3 places. Fucking suck a dick or something. Oh my God, get out of it, like.
Anyway,
Dan Frankham. He's not even a tipster.
I've fallen on the side of Gaelic Warrior being the most talented in the field. I'm not convinced Factor Foil wants 3 miles, and I'm convinced Factor Foil shirks a battle when he actually needs to put his head down. He done it a few times in his bumper days. He came there swinging like he was going to win the race, and he just got out battled in the end. Same with Gaelic Warrior. He had every right to go past Gaelic Warrior in the John Durkin, and he just didn't want to know. Not that he didn't want to know about it. He battled away, but I just don't think he has that extra bit left to go.
Say John Durkin 3 times in a row.
John Durkin. John Durkin. Did you see that new thing that they all have to say? Oh, I'll show you after. Don't mind that. But look, Gaelic Warrior now, he's become more tractable. They don't have to go off and ride him like they did in the John Durkin. As you've seen when he won at Aintree, they can hold him up off the pace. So like of Le Francais is going to go off like the Clappers. You'll have who will go off as well. You probably have Factor Foil if they want to go off and change tactics from the last day. There's definitely going to be a pace in it. So I think they can drop him in behind the pace. I just think he's the most talented horse in the race. He's the fucking biggest fruitcake in the race as well. But then again, it will all come down to how much did the John Durkin actually take out of the 2 of them. A lot will tell in the finish. I think the second best in the race is going to be Django Bay. I think this race is going to be run to suit him. I say quietly going about his business. He's very professional. There's nothing flashy about him. He's very professional about the way he gets the job done. I liked what I saw at Ascot last day. I think he's a horse on the up, and I think this trip is going to suit him down to the ground. I can't really have the jukebox, man. He's jumping out left against horses like this. I can't give him a hope in the hell of even laying up with him. That's going to cost him many, many lengths. We've seen plenty.
Grade 1 is beating Hoyland. Jesus Christ.
Who's the horse, Dave, you used to like him, that ran in this and just always jumped out left?
Le Home Press.
Le Home Press.
When they jump left in grade 1 level, by fuck do they jump left.
Oh, yeah, they do, yeah.
I can't have him at all. But, like, at the end of the day, I think Gaelic Warrior will come there, not swinging, but travelling nicely, coming into the home straight. And I just think he'll have that bit of... He has that lovely mix of pace and stamina that I think is absolutely ideal for the King George. And I think at 3-1, he's drifting out the second favourite now. I think it's a fair price when you consider the talent. And we're probably only seeing the best of him now. They've probably got the key to how to win proper races with him at the end of last season. And I think he will win and win handsomely.
I'd be amazed if it's not between the top 3. So there's been some strange results in this, shocks, but I'd be amazed if it's not between the top 3. Love Gaelic Warrior. I think he's probably the most talented horse around. But he's nuts and could easily, as Sean said, he could just not. He's as likely to not jump off
down hills and just say no.
Just halfway through, go, I'm not going to do it.
He only does that at Leopardstown.
Yeah, well, Leopardstown is relatively flat track, similar-ish to Kempton, going the opposite way around, obviously, but doesn't act around Leopardstown whatsoever. Just decides he's not running and just
won at Aintree though. That's flat.
Throws the dummy out. Factor Foil for me just doesn't stay 3 miles as strong as other horses. It reminds me of Allaho. When Allaho is coming for this, he'll travel great. I think he'd have a better chance of winning it if they just let him roll from the front or thereabouts like they did in the Ryanair. But a few times he's been there in a battle and shirked it. He gets outstayed, so I think he'd need a good few lengths ahead.
I think the middle part of the race is key for him. I think that's where he does his damage.
I'd be worried he'd win if Mark lets him stroll along and do his own thing.
Yeah.
But I think Django Bay will beat the Theo Mullins horses. I think if Django Bay, if that was a Mullins horse, did what he did at Ascot, everybody were ranting and raving about him. But it's because it's Django Bay and he won the Arkle by default and so on and so forth. You're questioning it. But he was every inch. This is a superstar in waiting winning that Ascot. It was just perfect. Doesn't matter what he bet. He bet them all hands down. They went hammer and tongs. It was a good race, and he basically won on the bridle going over the line. Nico's a worry. He's always a worry, to be honest. But the horse seems to know what he's doing, jumping. He seems to be getting better each race. I can just see him. Andrew said it as well. The pace of the race should suit him, and the trip, in my opinion, is going to suit him better than Factifoil. So I'll take on Gary because he's a bit mad, and you don't know what you're going to get race to race. And I really like Django Bay. I think he's the next one coming up, right age. But a good race, and I'd be disappointed if one of the top three in the betting don't win it. I don't want no fucking Master Joey winning like that. I don't need to see that.
Banbridge again.
Don't need to see that. Okay,
I like
we'll
that.
head off to Leopardstown. Is it the 110?
Yeah.
110.
The first one is the 110. Changing Times Brewery Juvenile Hurdle Grade 2 for 3-year-olds. Narcisco Haas 10 to 11. Barbizon 11 to 4. Ben Hur, that's a good film back in the day. 9 to 1. North Shore 10s and 14 to 1s bar. I like this Narcisco Haas, but I think Barbizon will win. A decent enough flat horse in the colours of. They always win down in Killarney anyway. I can't think of your man that trains him.
John Murphy.
Yeah. Same colours. And yeah, I think he's going to be a good juvenile hurdler. I'll take on Narcisco Haas. Wouldn't be surprised if he drifts out. You know these JP drifters, the amazing odds-on drift.
Oh, we're not on
then
today.
Turns up in the boodles and fucking bolts up. So Barbizon for me. Andrew.
Yeah, I want to take on Narcisco Haas as well, but I do think he'll improve massively from his second behind Manchetois at where was that? That was at Ferry House.
Well, that's what happened to her. She not in this race.
She was entered, and I had down. She was going to be the pick, but I don't know whether just giving her a break now. That was her third run of the season already. Second run. Unless they just want to give her a break and throw one of the other lads in. But I have it between Barbizon and Ben Hur. Barbizon beat Ben Hur on debut, but Ben Hur was making very good headway when he made a mistake 2 out, and he came home in his own time. Then he wasn't beaten that far in the end. But what he did then at Punchestown or Ferry House was really, really nice now, to be honest. I think you're getting a decent price given that No Me trains him and he's had to be beaten by Barbizon already. Now, I don't know what best odds. I just have best odds in front of me here from Racing Post. He's 9 to 1. He's 7 more or less. He's 9 to 1 Bet 365, 7 to 1 Sky Bet and the others. If you can get 9 to 1, I think he's a shoe with the place. I think he's a very progressive horse. He's battle hardened already. And I just like how he travels and jumps. If you keep him in the race for as long as you can, and if he has the class to beat the other two, then so be it. If he doesn't, I think you're getting a good each way pricing. So, yeah, I think he'll definitely place it worse. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually won. He's a very good horse, and I think he's very much underestimated given the form that, just because the form that Gordon is in, and the fact that Narcisco Haas will probably come on leaps and bounds for his debut run.
Sean, the Bond villain in your chair in the comments. Who do you think is going to win?
Ah, poor
I
chap.
don't know, Dave. It was a tricky one. I did say instantly after Fairy House, Narciso has would improve a lot. And if he didn't miss the last, I think that race would have been an awful lot closer. But I was up in Navan and Barbizon one, and like he was 101 rated flat horse. Like he's a good animal coming over jumps, and he fairly sprinted away from them. Now your thing would be is if he gets out on the lead again, he's able to dawdle and turn it into a dash off the home straight. You might be a little bit worried about Narciso has. But I tell you one thing, my eyes are only going to be on one horse in this race, and it's a plot, and I don't know what it's for. But this in my teens, they couldn't have had a better dream when this horse came down at the force the last day at Fairy House, because he didn't even have to do anything. Nothing had to be hidden because he had no jockey, and that was the second run. So he comes in here for his third run, and he's going to be no man in the moon anyway closer than this. And I'd say that hoping a jockey might slip off the side again. He has 2 seats, and then he goes up to a handicap. He could potentially be a Boodle's horse, if not some sort of handicap.
There's no ifs about it. This fella is being absolutely cemented to the floor. If you haven't seen his race, his first race of the season, go back and watch it. Absolutely. So winging.
Lark in the morning.
It's like Lark in the Morning 2.0.
This is criminal stuff. Like Jer's girl, remember her? That's the dam out of Camelot, and one on the flat over 10 furlongs up and down road. This has been seriously stuck to the floor or something. But that's where my attentions will be. I think it's close at the top. I wouldn't want to be taking odds against. I see that Narciso has his against Barbizon, because I think he could make a race of it if it gets tactically.
Okay. The 220 at Leopardstown. The Racing Post Novice Chase Grade 1. The race that wasn't on last year and they put back on this year.
Common sense
Romeo
prevails.
It does.
What's that?
Common sense prevails.
Yes. Romeo Coolio 4-5, Salvador Monday 10-3, July Flower 13-2, Irish Panther 7-1, and 25-1 bar the likes of Nürburgring, Westport Cove, and a few others. Andrew.
This will tell a lot about where Romeo Coolio will go for Cheltenham if he bowls up here. all eyes on the Arkle. Won't have it all his own way. July Flower, look, she's a decent enough mare. She won quite well at Cheltenham at the November meeting. Salvador Monday, even though he was absolutely turned over at 1-7 at Thurles by Kappa G Pike. Is that right?
Yes.
As we know, Willie's horses have been stopping like Henry's were about a year and a half ago, 2 years. So you would presume they're going to come on a lot for the run. If he doesn't, then God help us above. There's something wrong with him on the stable, seriously. But I think Romeo Coolio, very much after improving hand over fist for a fence, he looks every bit of chase. He looks a very classy chase. I think he'd be very, very hard to beat. And I'm hoping for a decent performance. I'm hoping for a performance that goes, holy shit, this fella's really good. I find it very hard to oppose him, to be honest.
Yeah, look, it's Romeo Coolio for me. July Flower is a nice horse. Had a hard enough race there at Cheltenham. And look, I think Salvador Monday is a fucking idiot. So, Romeo Coolio.
He's a
dope.
Right, you found the right words, Dave. I was looking for the words to kind of describe him. He's a fucking idiot.
Like, you couldn't. You'd open the box and leave him out. You would, like.
Jesus.
Sean.
Yeah, I don't want to be the Grim Reaper here, Dave, but I have serious worries about this ground, lads. I have mega worries about this. I think this place is gonna be like a fucking road. I couldn't believe when they were saying that was good in the ground. Had about 3 storms in the last 6 weeks and nothing's happened.
Apparently, it's yielding to soft right now.
Yeah, they water. It'd be grand.
Yeah, that just for me, I think is playing into Romeo Coolio's price a bit. He's 4-5 there now. If there was no doubts about him, he'd be 1-2. It's worrying me that he's not shorter, to be honest with you. Because you're taking on a Monday who's been beaten in a beginner's chase, didn't jump great, and he's a dog of a horse. You have July Flower coming in, be aware was well beaten, wasn't he? Next time out, I just don't know what that form amounts to. And you have Irish Panther at 6-1. If he wins a grade 1, I give up at the game. I know he's won a beginner's chase, but like you can't be having Irish Panther in a grade 1. So I just worry. There's a few shorties, and I wouldn't be laying them, but I wouldn't be backing them. I'd just sit there and watch Romeo Coolio. But I have me worries about quick ground over 2 miles around Leopardstown. I just don't know if that's going to be his bag on it. And you're going to have the likes of July Flower, who's going to go out a million in front. And if there's any frailties in him, it's going to be found out.
I don't think they'll. I think they'll water the living daylights out of that ground. They won't want the repeat of what happened. When was it? What it would have been? What
2 years ago, was it?
7 years
2 years
ago?
ago. Was it? Was it that long?
Oh, I thought the same. Now was it only 2 or 3 years ago? No, it was good 6, 7 years ago when I went good to firm for the Gold Cup, the Savills, not the Irish Gold Cup. Remember there was non-runner after non-runner after
Yeah,
non-runner.
yeah, yeah. Was that
It
6,
went
7 years ago? Was it?
Oh, tell you now, where's that race?
I
Yeah,
think
no.
I think Romeo's a good bet. I think the next one we're talking about, like the English lads will love it, but he wouldn't be a bet for me now. But I think Romeo, out of one of the odds-on lads over the few days, I think he's a good bet.
Hold up now. It would have been the year. Rotorus? No. Road to Riches?
Remember him?
No,
there's
man.
too many runners in that race. I'll get this. Don't worry. Fuck away.
We move on to the next race.
We're going to move on.
I'll find this.
The form be the 105 at Aintree, 2 miles, 1 furlong. My daddy Paddy is in fact alive, and he's 8-15. Idaho Sun 5-1, Starmount 9-1, Diamond Hunter 14-1. Excuse me. Storm and George 20s, Glance at Midnight 33s, The Last Cloud 50s, and Waran 250. Wow, what the fuck? I haven't even heard of that trainer. Jessica Beattie and Kevin Healy. Is that a joke?
A drug?
A joke. Look, I don't like these horses that jog around in 3-runner races and bolt up, and everyone thinks they're the fucking bee's knees. I also don't like Dan Skelton, the way he lies all the time. He said today he tells the truth about his horses, and I swear Divock Origi's face was on it when he was saying it. He's a liar. I think it's more competitive than it looks. I think the Ben Pauling horse is good. I think the Chris Gordon horse is good, but I'm going to back Storm and George each way. I like Neil King as a trainer. He's in form. He's 3 for 7 runners in the last couple of weeks. His horses tend to run well in bunches like that. He ran the decent horse he had, Look Away, in the Aintree bumper. He won it a few years back, and he's turned out to be like a grade 2 hurdler. He ran this fella in the Aintree bumper last year, behind the likes of Green Splendor, 1 or 2 other decent horses. It looks better as a hurdler. He was better the last day. Looked like he was learning the first day. The thing about him is they usually kick on out in front, and I like that around Aintree. I'll back him each way, and hopefully he places. Sean?
Yeah, like I don't know that myself. Like he's won 3 times, as you say, and I just don't know where he's been, to be completely honest with you.
Nothing.
Yeah, like I don't know what it amounts to, and he's like 1-2. You don't know. They're not the 1-2 shots you want to be backing. But then I look and say to myself, is there much in this? Like Idaho Sun, I suppose, does bring the champion bumper form, but like there's nothing really that screams to take on. I'm devastated that Nicky didn't send Active Innocence.
So am I.
He's chosen to go somewhere else. I don't know where it was that was mentioned. I thought he was a solid yardstick. Now you'd find out what my daddy Paddy was about if you gave him a bashing. But the Pauling horse, I know there's good talk about him, but like he came out Welby. Like I don't even know what that race is worth, to be honest with you. There's a couple of ones beside horses here, but listen, I won't be backing that, and I'll be watching. But my Paddy Daddy would have to be punting these away fairly convincingly now to be getting me on the side of him, because there's a lot of hype and I haven't seen it yet.
Denise's yearly salary. Wait, no. Lower 44% after laying 6-5. Yeah, he could be the Super Boast. That's quite possible as well. We've mentioned that a couple of times. Andrew, my daddy Paddy or no?
No, you're okay. You're gonna keep. You can keep. He's done nothing to justify being 8-15. The only thing he has is hype around him. You could have any one of these horses beat the same horses that he did in the style that he did. You're literally backing him on a guessing game. Like 8-15, not a chance in hell am I backing him at that price, or even contemplating to go near him, even if he goes near even money. For me, the standout bet in this is Starmount at 9-1 each way. he was mighty impressive from the front when he won at Wetherby. He was well backed on the day, back from 2-1 into odds on. Jumped well, looked so professional, and put the race to bed within a matter of strides. There's a hell of a lot more to come from that fella. Ben Pauling seems to be still flying. I think he's at, what's he operating at? A 28% strike rate in the last 14 days. He's in absolute red hot form. This fella screen for horses
He's had
scratching.
about 20 winners in December already.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying. And this fella, if you haven't seen his race, go back and watch it. It was very impressive. There was everything he done was good, professional, and he just got the job done. And I think if he gets loose on the lead here, they'll find it very, very hard to catch him if he keeps jumping the way he did. I think he's a great bet at 9-1. He'd be the one I'd sign with.
Okay, so against my daddy Paddy. That's all for 26th. We're on to December 27th, and we're back to Kempton. The 155, the Wayward Lad Novices Chase, Grade 2, over 2 miles. Always a good race. Good horses have won it through the years, and we've lump sum in his favourite. Mambo number 5, 7-2. Lump sum is 5-4. Al Nalam 5-1. Mirabad 5-1. Hansard 10s. Shanghai Enki 100-1. And one of the better bets I will have over Christmas is Mambo number 5 at 7-2 or 3-1 maybe by the time we get there, because I don't do these anti-post things. Getting the weight. It's been a long time since I've seen a horse jump the way this lad does as a 4-year-old, and he is absolutely ginormous. I'd be usually worried about big, huge horses like him around Kempton going 2 miles, but he jumps so well, I don't think he'll have any problem with it, and I'm happy to get stuck in at 7-2. Sean?
Very nice, David. I think you've made the case. I absolutely agree with you. I look at lump sum, and I think he's best fresh in terms of, he won first time out last year. Foss last didn't win another race. Won wickedly impressive first time out this year. He didn't run a stinker the last day, like he was third. He was just behind Be Aware and the Lamba. But the big weight for age, and I feel like that Mambo number 5, they got him over from France. I'd say he probably fell apart a little bit. They gave him time, they built him back up, and fences have been the making of him. Like, he's not a million miles off him on the ratings either. There's only £6 between them, and he gets £6. So like, he's bang there on it, and I just think that allowance for a 4-year-old, when they can jump, they can do a lot of damage with it. And I suspect that Mambo number 5 might be a bit more improvement to come. I think there was another handicap in him off a mark of 140. So the fact that he stepped him up into Grade 2 company probably says a lot about him.
Andrew?
Yeah, I'm very much with lump sum here. Look, to Sean's point that he won first time out last season and didn't win for the rest of the season. Like, when you're pitching him in second behind Sergino, then you're meeting Constitution Hill, then you're giving nearly a stone and a half to Joyous, and you finish second, fourth, to second to them. It's very hard to get a win into it, and you're out there killing yourself for the season, and you go for Sandown and you're just bollocks. I think this fella will jump them silly around here. I think he's so much pace. Mambo number 5, anywhere back Kempton, I'd be all over him. I just think, as you said there, the size of him, I'm just not convinced that it's going to be his kind of track. Like, he absolutely battered Jax Jr. on his debut. He's coming out and won. He beat him by 16 lengths. Vanderpool came out and won after. He won at Aintree last week. He was a further 25 lengths behind him. That form is stacking up. He ran a very good race at Sandown behind Lamba. I just think that was a step too far, too soon for him. I think back down to this kind of level, bar Mambo number 5, he has the beating of Anlanam already. Mirabad needs a big jump. Harazan, look, even though he did win really well the last time, he needs another step up. I just think 5-4, I think, is a decent enough price for the kind of horse you're getting in the field he has to go against. I think he'll take him from the word go, and I think they'll find it very, very hard to catch him around here.
Okay, we're on to the 230 Kempton. The Desert Orchid Handicap Chase, Grade 2, 2 miles. Thistle Ask 7-4, Ryan's Rocket 10-3, Saint Sigal 4-1, Gabriel's Getaway 5-1, Sans Brute 11-1. If you think about backing Sans Brute, right?
We had a wobble.
Take a $5, put it back in your pocket, wait till Aintree when he's actually trying, and back him and then have 2 fivers on him, so it's a tenner. Boot Hill, Calgary Tiger are your outsiders. I have no selection. I don't care about this race. It's terrible. Sean?
I think you read me script. I think you could give me 6 selections in this and I wouldn't get it. I just found it incredibly tough. Like, Tisselask has gone up 30 pounds since winning the first day. Like, it's a massive chunk to be going up, and he's given a long break after it. Ryan's rocking Saint Segal. I suppose Saint Segal sort of runs his race every day, but it's just not a horse I want to be backing, so I'd be steered and clear of this myself.
Andrew?
Yeah, look, it's not a great race on paper. Tisselask is probably the only one really improving at a rate of knots. You know, Ryan's Rocket was good on his second chase start. It just screams a horse that's probably better than the rest of these by a good bit. Saint Segal, he's so exposed over fences. He's had to have 20 runs. Fairness to him, he's won 6. Gabrielle's Getaway, he's exposed as well. And then the likes of St. Brute, you said you won't be seeing the best of him till Aintree. I'm shocked that Boot Hill is still a racehorse, let alone racing. Won't have a bet, but I will be shocked if Tisselask doesn't win.
Okay. We're on to Leopardstown. 3 at Leopardstown on the 27th. The 112, the Paddy's Rewards Club Chase, Grade 1, 2 miles, 1 furlong. And we have Mashburn 9-4, Marine National 9-4, Found 50 13-2, Only by Night 7-1, Soulless 12s, Captain Guinness and Hercule de Soy, the outsiders. Maj is one that seems to
How's he 94?
Huh?
How's he 94?
He polarizes opinion. What has shocked me since he ran at Cork is the amount of people that would be called and think of themselves as shrewd judges, putting this horse up for the champion chase, etc., when he clearly cannot jump. And you can't iron out jumping frailties like Maj has. They're like El Fabiolos. You have to go fully back to the drawing board. And I cannot, for the life of me, also understand people saying he jumped around Leopardstown okay last year. He was against Pigeons in the novice race at Leopardstown at DRF, and he didn't jump well. He jumped left the entire way around. He missed 1 down the back straight, and the 2 coming around the bend and back up the straight, he bulldozed. Like, I just don't
you said he jumped well, Dave.
Sean, I cannot understand how people, like, you must believe what your eyes tell you, what they're looking at. And the race IQ thing is just incredible. It's because of the speed away from the fence and all this nonsense. Speed away from the fence is not going to help him when he fucking runs through the middle of it. Like,
speed away because he is running fucking through him.
That's a great comment, Jordan. He jumps like R2D2. If you never know what R2D2 is, or you haven't seen Star Wars, he's the little fucking robot that rolls around. That says it all. Like, I cannot understand it. He just doesn't jump well enough. I've seen it with El Fab, and I've had conversations with Kubo about this and a few other people. When you go back through it, there's been numerous horses Willie tried to make 2 mile champion chasers, and they've ended up being absolutely dreadful through the years. Some have got injured. Some are just bad jumpers. El Fabiolo, footpad. These are things that they won Arkles as novices, but when they stepped up into open company, couldn't cut the mustard. Duvan looked like an absolute world beater for a couple of years. Never cut the mustard really at open company, got injured. Footpad, El Fabiolo. There's a few others he's had through the years, won novice races at grade 1. Facile Vega, one of my favorite horses, another prime example. So I just cannot ever. I don't think I'll ever back Maj.
Can you name a champion chaser that jumped like that?
No. And the only time Willie has had a champion chaser is until Energamy and Nergamene came along. He's had loads of chances. Shashan Poursois, another one, couldn't get it done in the champion chase.
The other one. under so.
Did he win one or did he win Ryanair? He won the
Ryanair.
Argyle.
Ryanair, he was second in the champion chase.
Yeah, beaten in champion chase by Special Tiara. So there's been loads of them. So no match for me. It's hard to know what'll win. If I got a good price on Solness, I might chance him around Leopardstown again. It seems to be his track. But just not match for me anyway. Andrew?
Yeah, well, I love Match. I think his ability is probably one of the best in any yard. But he's a tick bastard. He's not learning in the slightest from his mistakes. He's doing the same things. He's just leaving his arse behind him, leaving his legs behind him. And it's only a matter of time before he gets taken off his feet. He clips one and he's going to do his best Tom Daly impression and somersault over one of them fences. And hopefully, God forbid, he won't hurt himself. I think they're on a hiding to nothing with him. How this racing IQ is saying that he's a good jumper, how anybody with a pair of eyes are saying he's a good jumper, baffles the living daylights out of me. He's not a good jumper. It's just proven. Jesus Christ, if you go back and watch his last two fences in the Arkle, it's a miracle he stayed on his feet. I just can't have him. 9-4, you can keep him. Look, the Eurat going on him about him enough, so I'll move on to next. Marine National, I have a love-hate relationship with him. I loved him when he was winning his bumpers around Clarny, all that in the summers. And I just fell out of love him. I don't know why. He's going to come on massively for this. And so I'd keep away from when it comes to this. For me, Only by Night is the bet in this. She won when Gavin Cromwell's were running like absolute pigeons, like dogs, like elephants. There was none of them winning. They were all stopping, and she was the only one. I think it was out like 86 or 87 that actually got the job done, and that was in the Grade 3 chase at Nice. That performance has to be considerably marked up, considering the form that Gavin was in then. Now he's had to coming out the slump. She's a mare that can take full advantage of this opportunity. Yes, she was beaten in the Arkle, but she finished ahead of Malsborough, and then she was battered at Punchestown. But we all know what Punchestown is for. It's for points. So forget about that. I think she's a very, very good mare. I think she's very much underestimated, and I think 7-1, I think, is a cracking price for her. It's pity there's not 8 runners. We get to 3 places, but look, I think at worst she'd be second. Yeah, I think she's going to run a massive, massive race.
I like this comment. They're putting new headgear on Solness. I like that. I like a horse that's had headgear and they change it up, give him a bit of a fucking.
Yeah, he won. He won this last year, didn't
New
he?
headgear.
Where are you seeing this?
Oh, he has the cheek pieces on.
What day?
Are they not new? No. Did he have something on before? Else on before?
You always wear run with the cheek pieces, no?
I'll tell you now.
Yeah, no, like maybe they're putting something new that's not cheek piece on. Maybe they're putting an old visor on them or something.
Tell you now. It's like, no.
It's the pieces. Balaclava.
No. Balaclava.
Very good.
Only by Night is the only one has new headgear. She has cheek pieces on.
Yeah.
Sean, who's going to win?
Yeah, it's not big match, Dave, and if they keep backing him, I definitely will lay him. But it's getting to the point of where if Barry Connell has Marine National anyway straight, he is an absolute monster of a bet, because I just think he's head and shoulders above these. He's getting good ground.
I think he'll win the champion chase now down handstands, but whether he'll win in the next few days, I don't know.
Sorry, I lost you there for a second, but yeah, I just think he's getting good ground. He's like, if he has him anyway straight, he is a phenomenal price. It's just that worry, but like you get onto the thing of you go through this field, then like Found the 50 is not a grade 1 horse. Like he's just not at this level. He doesn't cut it. Only by Night, I absolutely get Andrew's point. She's coming in here. She's the unexposed one. She has the cheek pieces on. I can see why. But I don't know. Is beating Champ Coyley? I know you go back and say she was second to Django Bay, but is he even a 2-miler? I just don't know if beating them horses is this championship grade 1 2-mile chase level. And Dave, I seen your point with Saunders. The only worry was first run of the season. That was my only thing with him. He hasn't had a run coming in here, and he had a growler last year. I think he was on the go for about 10 months or something like that. That was my only thing with him. So I'm a bit of a coward here now, but I won't pick one out. But I'd love to, if I knew Marine National was straight and the vibes were strong about him, I think I'd be all over him.
Yeah, fair enough. We're on to the 147 at Leopardstown, the Paddy Power Future Champion Novices Hurdle, Grade 1, Le Divin Enfant.
Nice.
Like that?
Nice.
That was good now. 9-4. Skylight Hustle 9-2. Love Me Tender 11-2. Mr. Pessimistic 10s and Talk to Talk 10s 12-1 bar. Andrew, who's going to win? See, I tell you now. See if this Carrickmore Spruce runs well after they fucking.
I'll drive up the
I will
Leopardstown.
snap.
I'll get Declan Queally. I'll drag him back down to Waterford, and I'll give him a hiding.
Skull dragon to Waterford.
I swear to God, if this thing turns up and is absolutely swinging on the dicky, jumping the lads,
I'll actually snap.
Where will I be in the 22nd? You'll be next to me. I'm going to skull drag you around my sit room.
I just turn off the race. If I'm telling you,
that's what I'm going
to
do.
I'm not having any of that now.
I'm going to skull drag their bald head around the place.
Go on anyway.
La Divin Enfant is the one for me. Went back and watched that race again at Turles. Yes, he was 1-6, but Jesus Christ, he screamed of a horse that's going places. Loved everything about it. It's one of these where if he was in different colours, he'd surely be odds on the back of that, especially being from Willie Mullins' yard. Skylight Hustle is a worthy opponent. Love Me Tender, don't think he'll want this time of year. Just screams of a horse as an autumn/spring horse. Mr. Pessimistic needs to improve again, has every right to talk, and I think Total Brute will be one to lean into when he starts going up and trip. He needs a trip. And I think when he goes up further and trip, he's the one that will take out this race. But Levon Divin Enfant, I'm gone. The head's gone. He wins. I've nothing else to say. The head's gone.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna go with Gordo's horse. I'm not so sure about the strength of the favourites formed in the Turles. The horse that beat Skylight Hustle in the first day, decent enough horse. He probably should have won the last day. He got outstayed by Dr. Steinberg, the devil, I think he's a decent enough horse. Skylight Hustle was very impressive the last day. And Gordo has ran some really good horses in this race when he has a good one. He's won it with Abracadabras. He's won it with Caldwell Potter. He's won it with Mighty Potter. And he's won it with, there was another one.
Romeo
Coolio. So if he runs one in this, it tends to be a good grade 1 horse. So I'm going to stick with my pal Gordo and go with Skylight Hustle.
We all love
Sean?
Gordo on the channel.
Yeah, the French horse, Le Devant Enfant, I'm going to try and say that's what it is. But yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I get Andrew's point. He looked the business. Don't get me wrong. He looked good, but I don't know what he ran against that day. I couldn't tell you what.
He ran against absolutely not. But I think it's just the impression he left.
And that's it exactly. Like he passed all the eye testing anyways, but I worry going from that, getting his own way, doing what he wanted into a grade 1 is what he's coming into here. I'm not too keen on Skylight Hustle either, to be quite honest with you. I'm a bit worried that the maiden that he won the last day, it's not all that good. I think he might have been ready to go, and a couple of others weren't there on song. I know he won by 25 lengths. He couldn't have been any more emphatic, but I question a little bit. And I'm looking at Joseph's horse, and he's a big price. He's about 7. You can get 10-1 on Bet365, and there's 3 places in here. Talk to talk. I just think he's come on absolutely leaps and bounds from each run. He ran the bump off Stuart Crawford, and he came behind Cadastral of the Skeletons. He moved over to Joseph O'Brien. And what I think put off a lot of people was he was very workmanlike around Limerick the first day, beating starting 15 that we mentioned about earlier on. But he came out the last day, but Jesus, did he win well. I'm Slippy, really well regarded by the Turners, and they Philip Henry thought he was cruising in that race. I talked the talk, put him away where he is. Sammy Owen got off him and said he wishes JJ Slevin was away for Christmas so he could keep the ride on him. I just think he's a horse that's really progressively moving forward or coming up the ranks. And I think what he's done on paper is the best in this field compared to what anything else is beaten. He's beaten winners and he's absolutely pumped them at Fairyhouse. So I think he comes in here with the strongest form. And I just think at 10-1, it's a big price. I think he could definitely run into the places at worst.
Some good comments on that race as well. A lot of people siding with Mullins. Elizabeth Murphy, Skylar Hustle had a grade 1 at Aintree for the taking. I presume she's talking about the Formby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one probably would have won.
Well, you would say, to be honest, if people thrown the hat, it is the only Mullins horse that's come out and looked good in a maiden hurdle.
Could the Mullins yard have a substandard season? Something nagging me that there is not going to plan. They're not running at all to the percentage win rate that they normally would be, but we'll see over Christmas. But it's usually after turning at this stage in December, and it hasn't yet. So we're on to the 3 o'clock at Leopardstown, the Paddy Power Chase. I'll be waiting to back a horse in this.
Same.
We're getting involved. 3 miles, half a furlong. Ballysacks Hank 8-1. We've all been caught 9-1. Captain Cody 12. Sam and Jess 12s. Waterford.
Don't back it. If you're thinking of backing it, please don't back it.
The crappiest horse in training, number 24. Waterford Whispers 12-1. Back me or sack me. Not back her or sack her. 14-1. Back to normal 14-1. Made the night our Fred. Let's fucking go. 14-1. Will do. 14-1. Will the Wise. 14s and 16-1 bar. I'm at Midnight Hour Fred. He's going to win a big one. This is going to be it. I have no more to say. Sean?
Fair enough, Dave. I'm going to go with one at the top of the weights. And Captain Cody. Paul Townend doesn't take too many rides in these sort of races. And I left Fairyhouse saying to myself, Harry Cobden gave this lad a screamer. He ended up getting bashed somehow. He nearly ran into I don't even know how you do it, to be honest. There's about a 4 long and a half between the second last and the last at Fairyhouse. And there's like a little rail that digs out halfway across. And he somehow nearly stuck him through the thing where the horse coming back on top. I think it was Allman Dingle coming back on top of him. But he somehow caught it. Definitely, I think he could have went close to a second and very close to Gold Dancer. And he's behind Romeo Coolio, obviously. But he was down over 2.5 miles. And for a prep race, I don't think you could ask for anything better. Like, you only have to go back to that Scottish National where he absolutely shot in off 140. Like, he could have won by as much as he wanted, but Harry Cobden decided to do it on the bridle and save him, and he only got £10 for it. I just think coming in here, he's had the prep run. He's Paul Townend up on his back. I know he's carried top weight, but he done it. I look back, Kilburn West, I think was the name of it, that he won off top weight with there a couple of years ago in this exact race. I just think he brings a bit of class in here. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in graded race by the end of the season. So Captain Cody, he's 12-1. I'm sure you'll get fucking 6-7 places probably on the day where but I'd be disappointed now if he's not in the mix turning for home.
Andrew?
Yeah, I like the case with that. I had him down as one of my 5 on the list. I tried to narrow down exactly what Sean said. Like, he's only £10 higher than absolutely sluicing up in the Scottish National, but I don't know if I want to go near him at top weight. Who I want to be on the side of is, first one is Ballysacks Hank. He caught the attention of the Stewards. When was it? It was back in Fairyhouse.
And he was doing Paul Byrne things.
He was doing Paul Byrne things. And then Paul Byrne had his money on. A handbrake was off in the summer plate at Market Raisin. And I think, who was Harry Cobden on him? Cobden? Harry Cobden was on him, and it was more or less the exact same as what he done with Captain Cody when he won the Scottish National. He won it on the absolute dicky. The horse is a head case, and let's not get carried away now for this with that part. He's an absolute fucking Fruit Loop, but he is so talented, it's ridiculous. He got beat in the American Grand National by an inspired Jack Kennedy and Zanny here on the day. Like, that was on Fear and Ground. It was back over kind of hurdles. It's called fences. They're fucking hurdles. but this may have been a long-term target. I think he's much better than 139. Gavin Cromwell, as we said early on, is coming right back into form, and he seems to be king of these handicaps. He always has one laid out for this, and I think this fella now, he's 8-1 now. I can't see him being 8-1 on the day. I think the money is going to absolutely pile in for him.
Yeah, if he's off, he could be like 3-1 or something like that. I remember meeting to the water.
Absolutely smashed to pieces, this fella could be. The setup to the race is going to suit him down to the ground. They're going to go off like the clappers. He can go steep out the back. And you can see Keith Donoghue now jumping the second last on the turn, pulling an absolute train, jump the last, and hopefully win. I think he has a cracking chance off this kind of mark. And the other one is Mossy Fen Park. He beat Oscar's brother, who's since gone on to improve hand over fist and has been bought by JP McManus. He got a ride when he went off 5-4 for a grade 3 at Cork behind Old Man Dingle, which was one of, you're not winning today. We're doing something else with you. And I think that was over 2-4. His win over Old Man Dingle was over 2-6 at Old Man Dingle. Jesus Christ, name's gone up my head already. Oscar's brother. Step up to 3 miles now. I have no doubt in my mind that is going to suit him down to the ground. He's only a 6-year-old. He's carrying 10 stone 13. He's the pick of Dara, and I think he has a miles better chance than Waterford Whisper was 12-1. I think he will definitely be placed, and I won't be surprised if he's fighting out for second place. But the more I look at it, and the more Ballysacks Hank is sicking out like a sore thumb in this race.
Okay. We are on to the 28th, and we're going to change it up and go to Limerick first. And we have the grade 1 for Novice Chase, 2 miles, 5 furlongs. Final demand 1-3. Oscar's brother 5-1. Jimmy the Snail 6-1. Kidspo Hill probably not going to run. Predators Gold 10s. Big Westerner 10s. Gold Dancer 14s. And 66-1 bar. Sean, final demand, yes or no?
I know you're going to slate him. Beginner Chase form is shy. There's nothing in behind it. But he done it in second gear. I think he's the real deal. I think he's going to go all the way to the top, even in open company. I think he go off the front here. They've learned from the Ballymore. It's up. It used to be 2 mile 3. It's now 2 mile 5. And I'd say they'll make plenty of use on him out in front. The only thing is, I don't know who's going to ride him. Perhaps it might be Danny that goes down. I suppose he rode him at Limerick last year. But off the front, I think
he rides on this. Patrick has nearly always ridden the favourite for this.
I'm hoping it's Danny.
He looks scared. He looks so scared.
I'm hoping it's Danny. But yeah, I think he just go out in front, they jump. I think he beat them in second gear the last day. He cruised away from them, and look, he's obviously not a bet, but I don't see how he gets beat.
Limerick is usually soft. It's actually like a swamp, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's never not soft.
And I usually don't back horses at the post, but I backed Jimmy the Snail at the post. Was majorly impressed with Jimmy the Snail in his beginner's chase. Came out and won, and a lot of Willie's horses were just running stink and still are running bad. Strike rate is not great now. It's only 9% or something in the last 2 weeks. But I'm positive final demand wants a trip. Wants 3 miles all day. Jimmy the Snail jumped so good. I think it was a ferry house he ran around. And yeah, I think at the moment I think he's a great bet at 6-1. So Jimmy the Snail for me, I'm really liking this horse. Andrew?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm looking at that ferry house. I was smiling. The Wall Park was beating 60 lengths in that. It's brilliant.
Can't wait to see where he turns up.
It's fucking brilliant.
Oh,
60 lengths.
3 miler running 2 mile chases.
What a day.
What a time to be alive.
Go on, Andrew.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm on the same line as you, Dave. Look, final demand, he could be anything. But a 1-3, he can stay at 1-3. If Jimmy Desai turns up here 6-1 and you get your A play, well, Big Westerner probably won't run here. Kitzbühel probably won't either. Will you get your 8? You get your no. If you get your A places for some reason, Big Westerner does run here. I think he's just he's a smashing each way bet. If not, I'd have a little small wager on him just to win. There's no reason why he can't reach the level of Final Demand has reached so far, because Final Demand hasn't really done anything. If we're all honest, we're hoping rather than seeing the potential, what he's going to do over fences. Yes, he won in a hat canter, going to beating trees on his chase debut, but Jesus Christ, anyone could have done that to them who had a half a decent engine. It just comes down to prices. If you gave me even money Final Demand and 3-1 on Jimmy the Snail, I'd probably back Final Demand at even money. But just at the prices, and there's not much really between them. Jimmy the Size Farmer is better than Final Demands over fences, and 6-1, I would take a chance for that. But again, don't rule out Oscar's brother. I think he's a very talented horse who's just gone under the radar because of who his trainer is.
If there was even money around Final Demand, I'd be running around Leopardstown naked. I wouldn't have anything left. Everything be off me.
I like wishing for Christmas miracles, but what can you do?
Oscar's brother would win the 4-miler. He's so slow. He's a lovely horse. I like him a lot, but there's no way he's winning Grade 1 or 2-mile 5. Even if the ground is heavy, he's a real slogger. But
you just need someone to take the limelight off the wall park. That's what it is, Dave. You need something up the top of the market.
Like Jimmy's won a Coral Cup. He's been second in a Ballymore to Ballyburn when Ballyburn looked like a world beater. His hurdle form is not to be sniffed at. I think the prices are wrong. And you mentioned it. I think Patrick could be riding Final Demand because Danny has always rode Jimmy the Snail, rode him in the Coral Cup and his beginner's chase.
The Wall Park has an entry on the 28th in the beginner's chase, or 2 mile 5 furlongs.
There you go. Probably be out the back of the telly.
And he has one on.
Probably. It's no doubts about
it. Out the back.
More Grade 1 action on the 28th. We go out in the beer on the 28th. We're getting 3 Grade 1s. It's always a good day's racing. I'm looking forward to it. I don't drink that much anymore, but I will have a couple of
months. You're a fucking roaring alcoholic.
No, I'm definitely not. Leopardstown 155, 2 miles, 7.5 furlongs, 3 miles. Christmas Hurdle Grade 1, Ballyburn 11-8, Chupo 2-1, Yellow Clay 6-1, Home by the Lee 10s, Bob Ellinger 14s, Mystical Powers. What a fucking yak he is! Oh my god, he's terrible. 25-1. Honesty Policy probably won't run. Rocky's Diamond 33s. There's another horse now that could just randomly run well again.
Jatara.
No, Rocky's Diamond. Wheelie. Yeah. Jatara 40-1, and good old Ballyadam, the best horse your man never sat on. Jamie Codd ever sat on at about 100-1 or whatever it is. Andrew, Ballyburn, Chupo, or something else.
Something else, David. Ballyburn, I will not back him over 3 miles until he shows he actually stays 3 miles after identifying as a lawnmower for 2.5 miles. The fact that he didn't beat Tihupu over a trip that was going to suit him so much better than Tihupu, I just can't have him. People get carried away with fast finishers in races. But this is going to be a totally different test altogether. I don't even know if Tihupu, this would be weird if Tihupu does run, because you never see him this time of year, ever. Like, he's never run in December when they've had the Morgiana and then straight to Cheltenham. So I don't know whether you keep him in or not into your thoughts. But either way, the Yellow Clay is the one I'm going for. Absolutely blew up at Navan on his season return, got beat by the great Cornwall Mustard. If you're looking at that form, literally you wouldn't give him a hope in hell against here. But that ground was so tacky. He was first run of the season. He took a blow. He ran on again at the end. Back here, I think you'll see a much better performance. He's been snipped at in the market. He was 8th when I was looking at this early on. He's into 6s now, and the hope was going from 15 to 8.74 back out to 2-1. But I think you'll see a massive improvement from the Yellow Clay around Leopardstown. I think he's the most, there's none of these, I was going to say he's the most solid option. There's none of these a solid option when it comes to this race. But if you get, look, he's a price that you can back each way, where if you finish the second or third, you get your money back. 'Cause it's not a race I will heavily invest in, but I'll be, what time is that? And that's the fourth race. That'll be about my fifth or sixth Guinness. I'll probably have about 100 each way on them.
Jesus. There
No,
you
I
go.
won't. That's a fucking lie.
I'll be honest. I don't know what I don't
Say
know.
Bob Alger. If Bob runs, I'm going to back Bob.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple.
I'm gonna do a Tom and sit on the fence in this. I don't think Paddy Byrne will stay, but I also don't think Chupo will go on like ground that has good in the description. Or he definitely wants heavy ground, like so. I also
you
think
wanna back on
Yellow
the day?
Clay was fucking terrible. Whether he blew up or not, he was so bad the last
Oh,
day.
it was useless.
He couldn't. So I don't know.
But that run,
honest, I wish Asterion Forlange Asteroid Kaboom was running again because he used to always run this race.
home by the lead now. Watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Watch.
wouldn't surprise me. Sean,
Yeah, I've been windy, but this is one of the strongest selections of the week, David. If all going well, you have 2 days to assess Willie Mullins and see what's going on. But Ballybourne, I'm going to go in and give him the kitchen sink. I just think I'm not worried about the trip. I'm not worried about the trip. I think he'll stay, no problem. If you go back to his novice days, he's 2 mile 5 in the Ballymore. He came up that hill tanking, and I like fences. He was making Horlicks of fences, so you can't look at the RSA and say, "Oh, he didn't get home." Like it should have been race over about 4 fences in. The last day, I think he might have got tapped a little bit and probably needed a run and came home all the way to the line. But for me, he's 3 around Leopardstown. I think they're going to go him off the front, and he can dictate this race. He'll get into his rhythm. He'll jump his hurdles. He's definitely quicker than the Hoopoo, and I think he'll stack them up until he gets over that second last, and he'll let them down. Like, don't forget, he done pretty much similar to the likes of Slade Steele and all them horses in the 2 mile novice race when he won around here. He jumped like a bunny, and I just think if Paul gets him in front, he'd be able to get a hold on him. And I know he's head to the floor, but I just think he'd be able to dictate out the front. The race with Tihupu, like, I just, a yard before, a yard after, he's in front. So I just don't know about Tihupu going around Leopardstown either. It's first time. They always moan about him backing up races. He's not able to do it. And if the ground comes up a little bit more lively, I'd be big time worried about Tihupu. You get to the yellow clay. That run for me was inexcusable the last day. I don't know what went on, but he just, like, he won in hock deep ground and the Lawlers and Ace. I know, like, I don't know what went wrong, but you couldn't be going near him. And then you get down to the same old stayers that race against each other 10 times, and you get 10 different results with home by the lead, Bob Ollinger, Rocky's Diamond, all them types of horses. So I think Ballybourne, he's 11 to 8. If you have 2 days to assess what's going on with Willie Mullins, if they're running well, he's going to be one of my statement dances of the week now.
okay. We are off to a great race. The Savills, 3 miles, half a furlong. I know the way you're thinking. 2 to 1, galloping 5 to 2, fast or slow 5s. Gaelic Wire's not going to run. Champ Kiley 16s, Factifoil not going to run. Lecky Watson 20s, Jerry Cologne 25s, Grange Clare West 25s, Aphrodite and Fury 33s, and 40 to 1 bar. Andrew, you going for galloping?
That's all right, I am. Well, any logic, any form, any queries about Willie Mullins' form just goes out the window for me with Galpin the shop. It's just absolute blind love. I don't care what form. Willie Mullins could have one winner in 1,000 runners, and I will be backing Galpin the Champ with my eyes closed till the cows come home. He's one of my favorite horses ever. He's fighting it out with Honeysuckle for the top spot. Look, I know the way you're thinking. He's been put in this place by Galpin Champ twice at Leopardstown. Galpin Champ has never been beaten over fences at Leopardstown. But the niggly worry is fucking Willie's form. I know I said it there. Doesn't bother me. But it is the niggly worry. But you're hoping that a little bit extra time off. They have enough time to get him ready for this. I think 5 to 2 is a cracking price for a horse of his caliber around this track that he just absolutely devours. Fast or slow, there's a lot of people putting him up. I just don't get it with him. I never got it with him. I just think he fails when it really, really matters. I know he won the Punchestown Gold Cup, but that's the end of the season and all that. But when it comes to mid-season, when horses are firing on all cylinders, I just think he finds it very hard to win. The more I look at it, the more I'll be watching this by looking at the ceiling in Alfie's, because I won't be able to watch it. But look, I hope to God he comes back. He's as good as ever, and he puts in a performance like he did at Punchestown, because if he does, there's nothing going to touch him in that field.
Yeah, look, Gallopin to me is the most likely winner with his Leopardstown form, but he has been suspect his first run of the season. So it's hard to know on Willie's form. I hope Gallopin wins, but at the moment, the way the prices are, I'd take a flyer, a €5 each way bet on Affordale Fury. Many moons ago, I think he was second in an Albert Bartlett. He missed a bit of time. He's come back, slowly got it together over fences, won the last day. Still young enough, 7 going on 8. He gave Envoy a bit of a race up at Down Royal, which is Envoy's track. He's beaten Appreciated then fairly easy the last day. He might have a bit of progress still left of him, where some of them I don't think they have. So him as an outsider, and maybe Chump Kiley as an outsider. But Gallopin's the most likely winner, but I'm going to back Affordale Fury each way. Sean?
Sorry, Sean Ford. It's a fair comment from Two Scoops. If Gallopin needed a run, he'd be going to Tramore. That is a fair point. Because they had the option to go there.
Yeah.
Come on, Gallopin!
Yeah, he's the people's horse, isn't he? But he's never going to go down to Tramore. You have to go to Leopardstown with him.
Let's do that now.
He's the people's horse. I've never
Playground of champions.
Yeah, I've never stood in a stand and seen what that horse has done to people. But yeah, look, I took a swing a few weeks ago. I said the last fast or slow, he was 10-1. I backed him each way. He's still 5-1. You can still get 3 places. That's your money back if he places. The reason is, I know the way you're thinking. I don't know about this horse. There's something funny where it turns up on one day of the year that he wanted to win and it goes and wins. Are they interested of winning beforehand? I don't know. It's all about the Gold Cup. And then if this place is a road, I'd worry about him on that as well. Galloping the Champ, first time out, he's never had to come straight to the Savills. He's always had the Durkin, and he's been beaten in the Durkin. So it worries me. He had a setback as well. It hasn't been plain sailing. It's the reason why he missed the John Durkin. So he's coming in here. What way is he going to be? I know he's unbeaten around Leopardstown, but as I said, he's never had to come here first run of the season. So that led me down to fast or slow. A horse that, look, I get Andrew's point. He maybe unfortunate he came down in that Gold Cup where he was going well, but he was too far out to know what's going to happen. But look, he's won Grade 1s, and I think the key is the ground. He gets the ground that he wants around this place. Look, he was 4 lengths behind Gallopin the Champ at the DRF in 2024. That was Gallopin the Champ in his pomp. There's no means to fake him. Being by 4 lengths by him is no bad thing. I think he came back. He had a nice little jog around the John Durkin. A good bit off the pace. Didn't really get involved. He jumped well in the main, I thought, and he fended off Hartwood, who had a run under his belt. So I thought that run, you have to look between the lines. I don't think it was as bad as what I might have first looked. And you're taking on another way of thinking, who you don't know what way he's going to run, and if the ground. You've Gallopin the Champ first run. And don't forget, when he went on this quick ground at Cheltenham, he down tools. He didn't jump well. Maybe that coming into play. He's older horse now, and that might have to be considered. And you look outside, like, I couldn't be backing Champ Kiley, horses like that. I think it's quite weak outside of the top 3, and I would be very disappointed if Fast or Slow couldn't place at worse. And I think he's well capable of giving them horses in front of him a good run for that money.
Two Scoops comment. Hate, I know the way you're thinking's campaign. You've got a Grade 1 horse. Stop stopping him. I completely echoed it. I just cannot stand this horse. And it's because of the way they campaign him. This is bad. We give out about Skelton doing it with horses over in England. It's fucking scandalous. Like, he's fully a Grade 1 3-mile chaser, and they don't try a yard on him. So he's beaten about 60 lengths in the John Durkin. Didn't try a fucking inch, like.
And then you can't judge him. Like, Dave, we say, like, backing up Gold Cups is near on impossible. There's a lead
near on
horse.
Impossible, yeah.
Like, so you can't even assess if he's gone 10 steps backwards or what's going on. Like, it's really tough.
To back up in the Gold Cup, you have to be an elite level horse. And if he does it and he's been scammed all year, it just shows you like he could easily be winning more races, and
Oh,
they just fucking not arsed about it. It's horrible to see.
Has ulcers.
And then the last one is on Monday the 29th, 2:32 at Leopardstown, the December hurdle, grade 1, 2 miles, and it's the acid test for Lossiemouth, 8-13, Brighter Days Ahead, 4-1, Amsterdam 5s, Woodo, 7-1, Aranci 16s, El Fabiolo 20s, 25-1 bar. Lossiemouth's my favourite horse, probably now my favourite horse ever. I'm still not convinced she's an out-and-out 2-miler. She's better at the mare's trip. So this is the acid test. I won't be backing her. I hope she wins and heads on to the champion hurdle, but we'll soon find out. Andrew.
Yeah, it's going to be a real test for like Brighter Days Ahead is that they're adding a lot of spice to this. Like we can't forget that she won this by 30 lengths last season by absolutely demolishing Stateman and co. Look, Stateman probably wasn't right on the day, but it'll be interesting to see what they do tactic wise. They had King of Kingsfield in here last year and to help drag her along through the race. Now, whether they use Cashildale Lad for the same thing,
He's the new guinea pig.
Yeah, he's a new sacrificial lamb for this season for the pacemaking duties. The only like Lossiemouth on top form should beat these. The only slight issue I have is how will she react to being back at Leopardstown after that horrific fall at the DRF. It's my only slight issue because that was a pace that she just couldn't go at with Stateman.
And she made a mistake at Leopardstown when she was a juvenile as well.
Yeah. I don't know how she'll react with that.
She's never really made a mistake anywhere else, but twice at Leopardstown.
Oh, yeah, I've watched that DRF one about 20 times. I still don't know what she's done.
She's definitely looking at the swans. She was like, she just looked and it's there's a fucking hurdle there.
I don't know how she got up after that as well. That was horrific for. That's the only slight issue. Look,
I left Leopardstown after that.
You were like a fucking dog after that. You couldn't talk. I swear to God, you couldn't talk to him for about an hour after. He was like a demon.
I went and got a toasty and walked up the road, and that was the end of it.
No, off in the distance on his own, just wouldn't talk to anyone. He was all right.
I thought she was dead, Sha.
Yeah. Everyone thought she was dead. I've never heard Leopardstown. Like when you compare it to 2 days of DRF, the day it was, I don't know, was it the day before when Galpin won? Where the roof nearly came off the stands to the utter silence when she fell. You could hear her
crossing the line then like
can't fucking breathe. I just only the sight, Nick. Look, if you're playing it, if you can get A places, Jesus Christ, getting A places, that fucking happened. If you're getting 3 places with 8 runners, if you can get 4-1 Brighter Days Ahead, look, I think you're on the muggy fucking each way bet that you get your money back at worst. But if not, it's a race that I would 100% just be sitting back and watching and hoping that we actually have. I hope the two of them are actually going hell for leather going to the last and may the best mare win. She is unbelievable around Leopardstown. That's the thing as well with Brighter Days Ahead. So there's a few queries there about Lossiemouth with the ground, not with the ground, with the trip, with the track, and the fact that Brighter Days Ahead is coming in here back over hurdles. She must have nearly killed herself over fences when she was schooling. 2nd year in a row, that's had to be put off. But look, it's a race that should be very, very enjoyable to watch.
Sean.
Yeah, Dave, this will be 4 days into Christmas now, and I'd nearly be dragging myself out to Leopardstown if all 4 days turn up because I think it's a very good race. Like, you've Lossiemouth, you've 3 mares, first off. People give out the fuck about mares, but like you've 3 top quality ones, the 3 best in training, all in this race, all running an open grade.
Is she? She's hardly going to run.
I don't know why you run the grade 3 when you could run the grade 1. Like you roll the dice and find out what she's about. If she's a 2 mile, she's a flat horse. I don't think she'll have an issue with 2 miles.
I think they do. I think they've always fully set on the mare's hurdle.
But what I'm saying is a race on the way. Like I don't think you lose anything if she gets beaten here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
is she not entered in something else during the week?
Yeah, she's entering a grade 3, but I don't know.
You either you plot your way to the mares. That's your end goal. Jesus, the last thing you want to be rocking up against Bride Days ahead in Lossiemouth.
But see, my thing is with Bright Days Ahead, I don't think they're going to run this race at a gallop because it's a first run of the season. She had 2 runs before going into this last year, don't forget, and she left everything in Leopardstown. She wasn't the same horse after. So if anything, they've learned a lesson. They're not going to go a million miles an hour. Lossiemouth, obviously, deserved favourite. Be interesting to see. Paul forced the tactics on her the last day over 2 miles. I'd say he's going to be fairly handy here and make sure it doesn't turn into a sprint down the straight. You've Amsterdam, he wouldn't be my horse. He hung like a gate, but he was second in the fight in 50. Comes in here with another run under his belt, and then you're down to Wadu, who's just concrete and runs a race every day. I think it's a setup of a cracking race, and I don't think it's a gimme for Lossiemouth. Like, this is, you find out here if she's going to be the champion hurdle 2 mile horse or not. They all seem to be worried that she's a 2.5 mile. There's no doubt she is best at 2.5 miles, but she could be just that good. She'll get away with over 2 miles this year in the champion hurdle division.
Fair enough. Annie, before we do an absolute next best, some people asked about some of the novices and all that. Unfortunately, we can't go through every race. It's already been 90 minutes, but does anybody have anything else to mention before naps and next best?
There's a few bumpers. Heldham's running the bumper. Arcadian Emperor's running the bumper. And them two are on the first day. Mighty Park be interesting if he's in a maiden hurdle. He's in the 2.5 mile maiden hurdle at the end of the week. There's 3 names that I'd say you might be hearing a bit about if they go and win.
Andrew?
Everything I have, Dave, is on the laptop in front of you. I had them all wrote down.
Fair enough. I think Slade Steele has entered in a beginner's chase, Sean, is he? Soon enough, so
3 mile beginner's chase. We could be route at the DRF.
We could be getting our money in the DRF. Naps and next best, Andrew.
Nap from what we have talked about. Oh my god. Come back to you in a minute, Dave. Or lump sum. I think he'd be very hard to beat. Next best, Ballysack Haas in the Paddy Power. But away from what we talked about, I think one of the decent enough bets of the week will be actually the first race of the whole Christmas madness, 11:40 at Down Royal. Henry is sending up Miss Diane to Down Royal. He's won this race the last 2 years with Air of Entitlement to Mossy Fen Park. I'm telling you, Henry's not going up to Down Royal on box on Stephen's Day for the good of his health. Clearly targets this race. She's currently 11-4. I think she'll be absolutely laid out for this race, and I think she'll go very, very well.
My next best is Barbizon in the juvenile hurdle. I think he'll win. And my nap is Mambo number 5, taking on Andrew with lump sum. Sean?
My nap would, obviously you have the week to assess how they're going, would be Ballybourne if he runs in that race. Your next best would be Fast or Slow. That's a muggy each price at 5-1 each way. You can get 3 places. And then I went through the handicaps on the first day. I'll just give 2 that I like, Dave. On the first day, you've True Testimony runs in the 145, trained by Ian Donoghue. He got it off Peter Fahey. Has some good maiden hurdle runs behind Keita Bourbon and Spindleberry back in the day. Was sent over fences, and Ian Donoghue, he didn't get any wins at Peter Fahey, and he managed to get a win with this mare the last day at Fairley House over 2.5 miles. Drops back to 2 miles here, back down over hurdles. I don't think she jumped fences great, and I think it's a testimony that he was able to get a win over them. I think come back here over 2 miles, 16 pounds lower than our chase mark. I think she'd be dead suited to this race. And one at a price in the 255 at Leopardstown on Stevens' Day on Pion Darragh, 16-1 each way. Leopardstown record is 2 from 2 on the chase track on good to yielding ground. It's going to get that exact ground here. Leopardstown is a bit of a specialist track. Horses can just perform there and not anywhere else. And this seems to be one. Had a prep run at Wexford last year. Had a prep run at Wexford this year over hurdles. And you just look at the marks, like a 116 last year in this race. Then I went to the DRF and I won by 7 lengths off a mark of 122. It was put up to a mark of 130, but they have Shane O'Callaghan on here who takes off 5. So it's £3 worse than the DRF romp by 7 lengths. I just think it's mega overpriced at 16-1. 6 places available as well. I'd be disgusted if she's out of place, if he's out of places, and I think he could go very close.
Okay, guys.
So sorry,
Um,
one more. I can remember Spallona Bay running the 145 on the 27th at Leopardstown. Won first time out on the back of a 421-day break. That was the first handicap. Gone from 98 up to 106. Is currently 6-1. Jack takes over today, carrying 10 stone 11. Very much unexposed in the race where there is a few unexposed. Jack will star. I think it'll be the next race where you go near him, but I think he's very, very much a horse on the improve. Travel really well. More than the title come on for that run, and I think he'll be hard to beat in the handicap.
okay, and that is that. Please like and subscribe. Do the usual. It helps the channel. If you're new here, if you've been here before, keep commenting. We love going through the comments on a live show. It's a long few days, great few days for fans of racing, but gamble responsibly, drink responsibly, sit tight, choose your bets, do it wisely, and of course, enjoy Christmas with the family. And from all of us, including Tom, Merry Christmas and have a great New Year.
Be safe, everyone, and enjoy. I need to press that button. Whoops.